What's up, everyone? Welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and yes, just sometimes crazy side of the interwebs. I'm your host, Ray McNeil. Coming up on the program today, Snap recalls all of its selfie drones due to fears that they could become flying fireballs. I'd say it's warranted then. Paramount Plus's Super Bowl commercial is wild. It features Sonic, Arnold, Peppa Pig, Drew Barrymore, Patrick Stewart, among others, and a pretty crazy premise. Happening in this week's What Not to Do when you purchase a new television. And of course, we'll wrap up the program with this week's Moment of Joy. All that and a whole lot more coming up on today's edition of your weekly tech update. Next. A couple of years ago, Snap, the company behind Snapchat, decided that the selfie production pipeline needed to be improved upon. Bathroom mirrors and selfie sticks were not cutting it anymore, so Snap decided that the next generation in the art of taking pictures of yourself would involve a flying robot. So it launched the Pixie. It's a tiny yellow drone designed to follow you around and take cute candids of you while you did stuff. The product, which retailed between $185 and $250, did not do well, and Snap halted development on the product a mere 4 months after it launched. During its short reign, however, the drone's tagline was "Your friendly flying camera." Except, as it turns out, those devices aren't quite so friendly after all. In fact, Snap is urging the small number of people who did actually buy a Pixie to immediately stop using them, remove the battery, and stop charging it. If you're wondering what all the concern is about, it sounds like the device's lithium battery could overheat, potentially catching fire and injuring you. On a webpage about the recall, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission notes that Snap has received 4 reports of the battery overheating and bulging, resulting in 1 minor battery fire and 1 minor injury. The page also shows that Snap only sold some 70,000 devices, meaning that it's a problem that, relatively speaking, very few people have to worry about. Thankfully, if you did buy one of these little menaces, you're qualified for a full refund, and to get one, you just need to return the entire drone to Snap, minus the battery, that is, which is something both the government and Snap are encouraging Pixie owners to do. How do you cash in on your tiny combustible friend? Well, The Verge reports that the drone should be returned without the batteries, which you'll need to dispose of safely. You can kick off the return process by sharing your drone's serial number with the company via an online form. After that, they'll send you a prepaid return label, and then you can send the flying robot back to its maker. Lotus recently took the covers off Emeya. It's the first sedan from Lotus since the early 1990s. The Emeya is a fully electric model in line with Lotus's plan to only launch electric vehicles going forward, and it's due to enter production in 2024. While Lotus has confirmed the Elantra SUV for sale in the US in 2024, the automaker hasn't said whether the Emeya will reach local showrooms or not. However, the car's debut having taken place in New York hints strongly at the possibility. Lotus has an event space set up for the display of the Emeya. The space spans 4 stories in a parking garage in Manhattan's Chelsea district and will open to the public on September 9th. The Emeya features a familiar coupe-like shape coupled with design elements borrowed from the Elantra. Like the Elantra, the Emeya also sports cameras instead of traditional side mirrors, though this option may not be available to vehicles sold in the US, as it's still seemingly not legal there. Those active shutters can be used to aid aerodynamics as well as cooling, while further active aerodynamic features come in the form of the adjustable front lip, rear spoiler, and rear diffuser. Air is also channeled smoothly through the car via 8 vents. The suspension features air springs and is also an active system. It relies on sensors to read the road ahead and measure the conditions 1,000 times per second, so says Lotus. This thing looks awesome. The interior design is similar to what you find in the Elantra. A large landscape-oriented screen in the center of the dash serves as the main infotainment hub, and the driver and passenger each have a thin screen in front of them. In the case of the driver's screen, all the main driving information is contained here, although information can also be displayed in a heads-up display with augmented reality. Underpinning the Emeya is the same electric premium architecture dedicated EV platform that's used for the Elantra. As a result, performance numbers seem to be pretty similar. Lotus is saving full details of the Emeya for later this year, but the automaker has confirmed that the car will match the Elantra's peak 905 horsepower, generated via a dual-motor all-wheel drive system. The Emeya has also been confirmed with a 102 kilowatt-hour battery and a 2-speed transmission too. Performance estimates are said to include a 0 to 62 mile-an-hour time of 2.78 seconds and a top speed of 159 miles an hour. The range will be similar to what's delivered by the Elantra. The SUV with a bigger 112 kilowatt-hour battery is estimated at up to 373 miles, and this should be right around the same. When it comes to times for charging, the Emeya can be charged at rates of up to 350 kilowatts, which Lotus said will see the battery charging from 10 to 80% capacity in only 15 minutes. How awesome would that be? Development of the Emeya was handled by Lotus Technology, the division responsible for non-sports car models at Lotus. Lotus Technology will also handle production at a plant in China. The plant is where the Elantra is already in production, and where Lotus will also build a planned compact crossover that's due for debut sometime in 2025.